I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Deputy City Manager Crystal Van Vleck, would you call the roll?
Mayor McClellan.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Burns. Councilmember Radner.
Here.
Councilmember Edgar. Here. Councilmember Whitehead.
Here.
Good. We have a quorum. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We have a long consent agenda. These are presented as a single item, but any council member can ask to have one separately considered. A, regular council meeting minutes for July 15th, 2024. B, special council meeting minutes, same date. C, Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes for May 15th, 2024. D, Library Board meeting minutes for May 21st. E, Public Safety Activity Summary Report for June 2024. F, request to approve payment applications number 2 and 3 for the 8-mile Booster Station Rehabilitation Project M732 to CSM Mechanical of Milford, Michigan in the amount of $41,247.45 and $19,420.47. G, approval of payment application number 4 for the 2024 Water Main Replacement Project M764 in the amount of $174,298.08. H, payment of invoices from MDOT for the 2023 9-mile construction project from Cloverlawn to Republic for the total amount of $292,419.76. I, payment request from Newman Smith Architecture for architectural services on the Event Hub and Municipal Services Move. J, payment of invoices from OHM Advisors for GISTWAM grant and the West 9 Mile Road design for the total amount of $9,107. K, request to renew the Smart Municipal Credit and Community Credit Contract for fiscal year 2025. L, payment of invoices from OHM Advisors for GIS application development for the total amount of $3,107.50. M, new and renewal of licenses for August 5th, 2024. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Yeah. Any no discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. I don't see elected officials out there for 6, so that brings us to 7. Special recognition for our Oak Park resident, Sarita Fox. Is Sarita Fox here? Can you kind of stand and wave so we can see? Thank you in person. On behalf of myself and the entire City Council, I would like to recognize Oak Park resident Sarita Fox. It's come to our attention that Ms. Fox has taken upon herself to beautify her community by removing litter, trash, and other debris and ensuring safe and accessible use of community amenities and walking trails. Ms. Fox recently cleaned up a littered woods near a senior housing complex off 10 Mile east of Greenfield and worked with a local trash removal company to remove barriers to a well-used walking path nearby. Her efforts resulted in the relocation of the dumpsters that had been blocking the walkway. Somebody has to take it upon themselves to take the leadership, and she did. Her efforts exemplify the wonderful community spirit of the City of Oak Park, ensure our streets and businesses and neighborhoods are safe, well-kept, and accessible for all to enjoy. At this time, it is our pleasure to present the City of Oak Park Certificate of Appreciation to Sarita Fox. Can we do a photo op?
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Please come on up, and council members, please join us.
All right, here we go. Good smiles, everybody. Hold it. One more. Good smiles. Good. One more. All right, do you want to get a sit right here? Of course. What's the picture of the Hey.
Let me ruin the picture.
We're centering ourselves over the
All right, there we go. Okay, here we go. Good smiles. Hold it. One more.
Sarita's probably wonderful. Nicely. That's nice. It's nice to recognize neighbors. Huh? Yeah. It's nice to do that.
And that stuff.
Sometimes somebody's got to step up to get stuff done, and Sarita took some initiative on that. Item B, 7B, presentation of Main Street America accreditation for Oak Park Corridor Improvement Authority. Is that Economic Development Director Kim Maroney?
Good evening, Mayor, and council members, and Sunday. So I have Annika Norris here from Main Street, Oakland County, and she has a brief presentation. We were lucky to become a National Main Street affiliate community. We are one of 28 communities within Oakland County that participates in the Main Street Oakland County program, and we have great partners with them. So I'll let Annika take it.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me take a moment to do this. We think it's extremely important in Oakland County and the Main Street program to present in front of council, because it's council that allows the CIA to collect those taxes.
Yeah, louder.
Sorry.
Real close
So-
to the mic.
All right.
There you go.
So since it's council that allows the CIA to exist and gave them the authority to move forward, and then the Main Street program working underneath or alongside, however you'd like to look at it, with the CIA program, the Main Street program brings the, brings basically the organization, and the CIA brings the money, and they work extremely well together. So we like to present this to city council, or during the city council meeting. I just wanted to say a few things. I wrote some things down because I always forget. I think I can remember it all. But who we are as a Main Street program. I am your liaison to the Main Street Oakland County program. And then Main Street America is a broader organization. As Kim said, we are the only county-wide coordinating program in the U.S., which allows us to just be a lot closer to the communities that we serve and support. Overall, Main Street is a grassroots organization that advances shared prosperity, creates resilient economies, and improves the quality of life through place-based economic development and community preservation in downtown neighborhoods and commercial districts across the country. Oakland County, its program has been around for 24 years. Main Street America started over 40 years ago now. Kim said they're one of 28 communities here in Oakland County. There are over 2,000 programs throughout the U.S. And the big thing that we love to preach about Main Street is there for everyone. It's a place where the business owners and local residents can participate and help the program grow and become strong and vibrant. And then how we work. Main Street America is dedicated to supporting communities across the nation through our signature Main Street approach. There's 4 points that are extremely important in Main Street, and we, I don't know if you heard this before, but if you can remember it by using the acronym DOPE. It's design, organization, promotions, and economic vitality. And I love my job. I love being able to work with the communities here, and I love being able to work with Oak Park and Kim and Michelle, and I wanted to present their affiliate program certificate, and hopefully we could get a picture as well.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal.
Yep.
So it's a real honor for us to be getting this, and Annika is wonderful to work for, really hands-on. She's really there for us. It's not just on paper. So some of our economic development wins are with the help of Main Street. Who do we get a picture with?
City Council.
City Council.
Okay.
More exercise this way. Yeah. Let's see, strategic quarterly. And now, we are with Deputy City Manager of Community Services, Crystal Van Vleck, who is going to present our strategic plan quarterly report. This is a plan that doesn't just sit on a shelf somewhere and gather dust. This is a working plan. People are assigned tasks and evaluated at the end of each quarter. How are we doing? So the director will explain.
Yes. Good evening, City Council, City Mayor, and City Manager. And all of our audience members. It's great to have so many people here for a presentation like this. Can everybody hear me? You good? Okay. As the mayor said, the strategic plan reports are done quarterly, and this is just to report on our progress internally on our strategic plan. So the city administration created an action plan that guides staff over the next 5 years in achieving the city's established goals and objectives. It is broken down into actionable items with a time frame for completion and identifies the departments responsible. The quarterly reports provide a highlight of the activities that the city has carried out in the previous 3 months in an effort to work toward our established objectives. Within the plan, City Council also established our vision, our mission, and our values. And all of this can be found on the city's website also if you'd like to dive in a little bit deeper. And also lists our 6 goals. So for brevity's sake, the report that you have in front of you has a little bit more depth to it, but this presentation is mainly highlights. And so I'll try to go through it rather quickly. The first goal is to deepen sense of place and community identity. One of the objectives under this goal is to attract and retain a mixture of robust businesses into the city. The Economic Development Department continues to work with the cities of Southfield and Lathrop Village to host training and events and networking opportunities. This quarter's events included the Tri-Community Business Mixer on May 14th, the Small Business Focus Group virtual meetup on May 1st, and the Social Media Marketing and Strategy Seminar on April 9th. In addition, the library provides space and marketing for Oakland County's Business Forward initiative that facilitates connections between businesses and business forward resources. And a drop-in program is offered every 3rd Tuesday of the month. 2 more objectives under this goal is to improve the overall appearance of commercial corridors and industrial districts and to combat blight issues in residential districts. Our code enforcement issued 1,752 code enforcement notices for various properties and issued 95 tickets, and that covers commercial and residential properties in the last 3 months, so April, May, and June. They also performed 277 business license inspections. They registered 10 buildings under the newly adopted vacant property registration ordinance, and they performed 1,061 rental inspections. The CIA released an RFP for a citywide landscaping plan, and the city is working with the city of Southfield to add a welcome sign, banners, and landscaping on Greenfield between 8 and 9 Mile roads. Another objective is to celebrate Oak Park's diversity through events and programs that attract people throughout the region. The Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission's Juneteenth subcommittee hosted the city's annual Juneteenth Jubilee. This year, the celebration included the Black History Museum, which was made possible through a Michigan Humanities grant that their library secured. The Arts and Cultural Diversity Commission also hosted the annual World Dance Day event. Excuse me. The library hosted Leader Dogs for the Blind event that brought in 60 participants. They also hosted the best-selling author of White Bonus to discuss racial relations in Metro Detroit. In recreation, we had this year's Summer Blast, June 14th through the 16th. This was done with increased security this year that helped make a successful event. The Corridor Improvement Authority hosted the first 9OP Family Fun Fest that featured partnerships with many of the businesses and included activities along 9 Mile's public spaces, and it was quite a hit. And the Communications Department continues to promote these events and programs across our channels. Another objective under this goal is to invest in public art experiences. The library mural artist was selected, and she has begun in August, so if you see her out there, feel free to maybe not mess with her or get in the way of her work, but you can watch her work. This is scheduled to happen over the next 2 to 3 weeks, with September 30th being the latest date for completion. The Artist in Residence program hosted artist Paul Kleiner and held an artist reception at this year's State of the City. The library hosted a field trip to the Detroit Institute of the Arts and hosted Bel Canto Choral Society Spring Concert in June. Another objective is to provide programming that responds to the needs of all demographics in the community. This included the Spring Flower Sale, which was hosted by the Beautification Commission in May. The Recycling and Environmental Conservation Commission hosted the Healthy Lawn Seminar in April, and they partnered with the Friends of the Rouge River to bring Oak Park Rain Barrels 101 in May. The library hosted a plethora of programming this quarter, and as well as the Recreation Department. Another objective is to foster social interaction and a sense of ownership at all the city's public spaces. Rec on the Road started in June. This program includes recreation taking their programs on the road to various parks throughout the city. This was partially funded by a Community Foundation of Southeast Michigan Ralph C. Wilson Jr. grant, and the program started in June and is scheduled to run through the summer. The Connector Park is finished, almost. The landscaping was completed, and the one last element that we're waiting for is the signage, and we will be scheduling a ribbon cutting in the near future. The second goal is to foster an engaged and informed community. One of the objectives is to ensure effective, meaningful communication with the community. We continue our Elevate Oak Park communication campaign to keep residents informed on its progress. We're keeping up meaningful strategic communication amongst several platforms, including our many Facebook pages, which include Oak Park Public Safety's Facebook page, the Recreation Facebook page, the Oak Park Library, the 9 Mile Facebook page, the Public Safety Facebook page, I think I said that already, the Farmers Market Facebook page, and Oak Park CIA. So if you're wondering what's going on in the community, follow all of those pages and you shouldn't miss anything. Another objective is to cultivate a culture of civic involvement. We hosted this year's annual State of the City address in June, and we unveiled the Event Hub site plan and provided an opportunity for residents to learn about the plans. Council created the Library Mural Public Art Ad Hoc Committee. They were formed to select the muralist for the mural on the library that I spoke about earlier. And the Economic Development Department is working with neighboring communities on the Oakland County Safe Streets Initiative, which has included many opportunities for public engagement. Another objective is to provide high-quality, friendly, responsive customer service. One of our avenues for doing so is through our GovQA platform. This quarter, staff responded to 192 GovQA requests. This graphic gives a breakdown of those requests, and this is also council. I emailed this presentation to you if you'd like to give it a deeper look. Two more objectives include ensuring the retention of talent and institutional knowledge, as well as increasing employee engagement. So we have implemented an organizational development and engagement strategy, which utilizes Gallup's Clifton Strengths Assessment and Toolbox. All management staff have now taken the Clifton Strengths Assessment, and we have begun rolling out our Managers as Coaches initiative. We will also be rolling out the assessment to the rest of staff this next quarter. The Human Resources Department hosted Public Service Worker Recognition Week with employee appreciation events and initiatives throughout the week, including these pictures were of our ice cream social. And goal 4 is to provide efficient, resilient government. One of the objectives is to secure outside funding to help fund city projects and capital expenses. I would say all of our departments are pretty active in trying to identify outside sources of funding for any of our projects and programs. Excuse me. The Municipal Services Department applied and secured an Oakland County Chore Program grant in the amount of $60,000. Recreation continues to do an impressive job securing sponsorship dollars, $23,700 for the farmers market, $11,500 for the concert series. The library continues to also do an impressive job. They had Oakland County hosting or sponsoring 2 inflatable family fun days. They were chosen by Books in the D to obtain hundreds of books for Oak Park youth. They received and distributed 50 Tigers tickets from the Detroit Tigers for the summer reading kickoff party. And their summer reading prizes were donated by Urban Air, Zap Zone, Chuck E. Cheese, Under the Sea Playground, Book Beat, and Dog and Pony Show. And another objective is to partner with neighboring jurisdictions as appropriate to accomplish common goals and maximize efficiencies. The library partnerships include the Southfield Public Library and Huntington Woods Public Library to host Pages in the Park, a partnership with Oak Park High School to do story time in the planetarium, and TLN and other regional libraries to create a passport program where patrons visit area libraries for a stamp in their passport. That concludes this quarter's summary of what my colleagues behind me and their hardworking teams have been doing for the last 3 months to meet the goals outlined in the strategic plan.
Whoa. Amazing. Amazing. And I like that Detroit News article. Almost a decade after allowing liquor licenses, Oak Park is on the rise. It's nice It's nice to no longer be a drive-through city, but to be a city that everybody's coming to and looking at. Proud of that. We did the strategic quarterly report. That puts us on to bids. Bid 8A, request to award the bid for the 2024 sewer and catch basin cleaning and TV inspection project to Tappan Group Limited of Kalamazoo, Michigan, for the total amount of $321,240.05. First, a motion and a second.
Second.
Thank you. And then, is this the one that had several bids varied? Are you going to speak to that?
Yes.
Okay. I noticed that the bids ranged from $321,000 to double that, $581,000, to triple that, to $985,000. So it struck me that, can they do it for that?
We have worked with Taplin before, and what we think is going on, the other bid that I will be presenting also came in with a very wide margin. We think what's going on is that everything's in flux, and either we're getting some bids where they're giving us, well, we have the work, but maybe this might be nice prices, or it's just that, you know, people are not, they are concerned about prices rising going forward, so they are cushioning their bids in various ways. So it's it's probably something of some combination of those.
So we're getting quite a deal.
Yes, this price came in at around how it usually has in the past, but we're looking at the bid and preparing for the future and things to change.
Okay. Any questions? None. Okay. Thank you so much. Roll call vote then.
Councilmember Edgar. Yes. Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Motion carried. Thank you. 8B, request to award the bid and budget amendment for the fence line restoration project M776 to Premier Group Associates of Detroit, Michigan, for the total amount of $35,830. Is there a motion and a second?
Second.
Thank you. This was the fence guys that put in the fence but didn't do the grading and then went out of business.
Yes. So as part of our litigation, we still had around $24,817.55 left in our contract last year. It didn't get forwarded into this year's budget correctly, so that's why we are doing the budget amendment for the full amount.
Okay.
But we will be going after the previous funds company to get reimbursed as part of our lawsuit with them.
Right. And so this group is going to fix the drainage?
Yes, they are going to clean up. They're going to clean up along our side of the fence, and then if people's yards are a mess, they will clean up in people's yards as well.
Wonderful.
This is along Greenfield, section of Greenfield that they didn't finish.
Yes, the section on Greenfield, and there's a section, short section on 9 Mile between Sussex and Marlow.
Further questions?
So this is, how much are we expected to get reimbursed by the company that went out of business?
Courtney, do you have any idea?
They were bonded, and we've made a claim under their bond, but we did not pay them the balance under the contract, so there is approximately $17,000 in retainage that was withheld from their final payment because they did not complete the work. And they were previously paid in draws as work was completed, so we withheld that they did not complete. So that will be essentially moved over in the budget towards this amount. And ultimately, it will be up to the court as to what we're awarded.
I'm glad the work's gonna be done.
Yeah.
Me too.
Further questions? Roll call, please.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Items 8C, request to award the bid for the 2024 streetscape landscaping design to Spalding DeDecker of Rochester Hills, Michigan, in the amount of $31,411. And we have Economic Development Director Kimberly Maroney.
Good
Thank you.
evening again. We are asking City Council to approve a bid award for landscaping contract to do design elements throughout the city of Oak Park by taking certain areas and then we can replicate them so that moving forward in the city, we're not doing hodgepodge landscaping, we're being consistent throughout the entire city. We met with many of the applicants, and the one that really rose to the top, not only with the lowest price, but also their experience in doing other corridors, was Spalding DeDecker, and Joanne Slusky and Bob Ford are in the office, in the council chambers here tonight as well.
Oh, good.
This was one of the things Crystal also mentioned in the strategic plan that we are moving forward with.
Great, so is he going to do a presentation?
No presentation, they're just here to hear what council has to say if they approve the contract.
Got it. Okay. So there were things sent to us, pictures sent to us of places that they had worked before.
It was, their whole bid package was in the council agenda.
Right.
So there's nothing really to view right now. This is just to award the contract so they can start doing the design work, and then we'll come back to council with that presentation at a later date.
Got it. Okay, any questions?
Nice work.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes. Motion carried, thank you. City Manager Eric Chungate.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. I would like to ask for 9A1 to ask City Engineer Kara Grissomer to join me back at the podium to explain, please.
Good evening. We have the proposed pay application number 1 and change order number 1 in the amount of $274,333.67 and $1,995 respectively for the 2024 sidewalk replacement project M762 by Italia Construction. This project includes sidewalk replacement in the north of Lincoln, and the project is approximately 25% complete. The change order is for unanticipated structure adjustments that needed to be done during the project. We recommend that you approve the pay application and change order.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the pay application number 1 and change order number 1 for sidewalk replacement?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Questions?
I have a couple questions.
Councilmember Radner.
I'm looking at the invoice here, or the payment application rather, and there's just a few things, I'm not sure what these things are, and I don't know if you know what they are, but for example, number 9, minor traffic device. What is a minor traffic device, please?
A minor traffic device is a cone or barricade to block the sidewalk in order to make sure that people are not using the sidewalk before it's ready.
Okay, so, because it says 1, obviously,
Yes,
that means all
it's a
of them.
lump sum to
Got
get
it.
them to mobilize all the barricades and cones that will be necessary for the project.
Okay, that explains that. Sidewalk curb wall, What is a sidewalk curb wall?
So as you know, we have to follow the ADA guidelines and recommendations and the code that was recently adopted. To do that, at corners, we frequently have to lower what we call the key flag, is the flag connected to both ramps, or the ramp that goes in one direction or both. So when we have to lower that, we would either have to go into people's yards and grade way back as we're lowering this sidewalk, or as we've chosen to do, we install a small curb wall that tapers to 0 at those corners.
Gotcha, okay. That's what I thought it was, I just wanted to make sure I understood what it was. And then, the cast-in-place detectable tactile warning surface, that's those metal things that are right before the street?
That's right. They're the red tactile devices that you can feel the bumps through your shoes, and it's supposed to be helpful for blind people to navigate and know that there's a street.
Okay, all right, thank you. I don't have any other questions.
City Manager Tunge.
Deputy City Manager DeCosta, could you join me at the podium with Kara, please? I know we had spoken prior to the meeting a little bit about this, but we have a situation where, and I'm guessing there are people here to talk about this. So we have a situation where there are people who have had their sidewalks replaced that go across their driveway, and the drive approach, there's a lip from the drive approach to the sidewalk. Can you talk about what we discussed earlier and what we're going to do maybe to look at that?
Sure. Thank you, and good evening, everyone. What the city manager's talking about is when we replace a sidewalk, we replace it to what Kara had mentioned at ADA specifications. So there's only so much cross slope that can come from the back of the sidewalk to the face of the sidewalk. Sometimes installing this correctly, it can create a small lip at the where the drive approach and the sidewalk meet. Currently, we're putting in what we call a courtesy ramp. It kind of bridges that gap between the sidewalk and the drive approach to let vehicles get up without hitting a bump or anything. In talking with the city manager earlier before this meeting, we've heard some concerns from some residents. So we're going to take this back to the department level, evaluate, find out how many are in the community, see what can be done to either remove part of the driveway to fix that, or to see what kind of options we have, and we will report back to the city manager with those findings.
So I just want, just to clarify, and, you know, we're going to have public comment in a minute, people can speak their piece at that point too, but, so, just to clarify, so the drive approach you're talking about would be an area to smooth out between the drive approach and the curb, and so that would be an extra patch of concrete, or is it asphalt that we would put in that spot?
So right now, currently, we're putting what we call the courtesy ramp. It's concrete.
Courtesy ramp,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's
Yes.
courtesy ramp, and it's just concrete to bridge that gap. The only, one way to fix it would be to remove the drive approach, and that's the area between the sidewalk and the street. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at some pricing options and come up with some quantities to present to you.
And I know, you know, council members, I know a lot of cities will, if there is a lip in the situation like there is here, a lot of cities will just special assess the drive approach and charge the resident
Correct.
the cost for the full drive approach.
Correct.
We are going to look at how many we have, as Dave said, and then look at the cost and if there are other options for us to
Exactly.
aid our homeowners.
Yeah. So what he's saying is, the only really true way to fix that gap is to remove and replace, potentially remove and replace the driveway. I just want to reiterate, the work that they're doing is correct. They're putting the sidewalk back to specification, to ADA specification. Sometimes in doing that, it doesn't quite meet the concrete that's adjacent to it. That's what we're going to take a look at, that's what we're going to evaluate and provide a report back to the city manager.
Okay. So in other words, if people are here with that question, more to come. Bear with us. But we are looking into it, and of course, you know, our primary focus is making sure we don't, you know, give our residents too big of a burden to bear, like a lot of other cities do, quite frankly. So we'll get back to you on that, so thank you.
You got it.
Sidewalks. Do we have a vote? We need a vote? Yep.
Councilmember Whitehead.
Yes.
Councilmember Edgar.
Yes.
Mayor McClellan.
Yes.
Councilmember Radner.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Mayor, members of council, I do have one more thing before I finalize the city manager report for this evening. So you may notice, members of the public, you may notice that there's an 8 and a 0 backwards in that window over there. And that is because
The
our.
mayor is 8 years old.
The mayor's 8 years. So I wanted to, on behalf of all of us here at the city, wish Mayor Marion McClellan a happy 80th birthday and present her in recognition of Oak Park Mayor Marion McClellan on this occasion of her 80th birthday. Congratulations and best wishes for continued good health and happiness.
Amen.
And I wanted to
Thank
present
you.
her. You need another picture?
Oh, we need another picture.
And I'm sorry, but we have one more picture.
Oh,
We need-
Lord.
We're getting our exercise tonight.
Shouldn't we ask her if she wants a picture?
I was gonna go for 240s. I like Jack Benny, 39 and holding.
That's why I love that.
All right, here we go. Good smiles, everybody. Good, good. Good, good smile.
I know.
Here we go. Perfect, guys. Happy birthday, Mayor. Happy birthday, Mayor. Everybody wanted to model in that.
I was telling some folks, like Jack Benny, I'm holding at 39, but only the old folks even know who Jack Benny was, this old comedian who always, his standing joke was he would lie about his age, and he was always 39, no matter how old he got. But it's a generational joke.
I thought
Thank
you were talking about Benny and the,
That too. Thank you,
Madam
everybody.
Mayor, members of council, that completes the city manager report for this evening. Happy birthday, Madam Mayor.
That's a lovely thing. Thank you so much. Thank you. The team that works here at the city feels like a family. That it's wonderful people striving to make the city better and doing a remarkable job, as you saw in this quarterly report. That was just 3 months' worth of things that have happened. On Wednesday, I get to go to Big Rapids and brag about the city of Oak Park. What mayors can do to help economic development is like, let your brilliant team do what you hired them to do and don't get in the way. So that's the whole speech in a nutshell. Thank you. Call to the audience. Anybody come up? Our standing Mayor Pro Tem will
Step right up.
let you know when you get to 3 minutes.
Right up here.
Anybody who wants. Now's your time to shine. There's a 3-minute clock. Yep. Oh yeah, did you read the 3-minute notice?
Hello, my name is,
hang on one
No,
second.
we have a 3-minute notice, and you're not
sorry?
going to, we have a 3-minute
Okay,
limit,
sorry.
and you can't yell at any of us. In a nutshell, that's the,
Okay, happy birthday, Mayor.
thank you.
I just want to speak about the situation with the sidewalk that was alluded to. I think I have the good fortune of probably having about the worst situation. I was really the first one they did. I live in Harding, and there's at least 1.5 inch gap between the sidewalk and the ramp coming up. And they only made a 7-inch courtesy ramp, so to speak. So I basically have a speed bump on my driveway. And I've scraped my exhaust many times going up and down already. So it's really just not an acceptable situation. So just wanted to describe it. I've got pictures if you're interested, but we're feeling the pain.
Thank you, thank you.
Good evening, City Council. I'm one of the recent, I'm a few blocks away, and I have a 6-inch lip. And it's, before they did the repair, there was a little bit of a crack, chip in the sidewalk. I didn't think it needed to be fixed. It was all also level, and now it's a nice new sidewalk, but it's 6 inches higher than my driveway and the entrance to the street. And I couldn't imagine driving my car over that. And it's a trip hazard. So I appreciate hearing, Mr. Turngate, that you guys are looking at something like that to make it safe and probably look better. I think a 7-inch long ramp would not work well. And I'm worried about concrete on concrete not working either that I've seen. So I'm very nervous. And I don't have thousands of dollars to fix something that was perfectly fine before. And I was happy the city was doing the sidewalks, and I was saying, okay, they can do this even though I don't think it needs it. Were there true roots? Yeah, there was other issues, but now I can't get my car back on the driveway at all. It's a 6-inch clip. So I don't want
Do you
to be
want
a
each of
complainer,
them
but it's a
to
really big
report
one.
to
So,
Dave DeCosta?
thank you.
Oh,
Take care of, but they need to give their name so we know who's talking. So
give your name. So
I filled out the card.
you have a little card.
we have
Yeah.
your card, but we don't know who.
Oh, sure, Michael Barish. I'll fill it out. if
No, we
something-
got it right here. Thank you.
Okay, 6-inch lip all across my driveway, both sides.
Thank you.
And I look forward
And
to
we'll
a
track
reasonable
this
solution.
card tonight.
We'll track them through the card, so be sure if you're coming up to speak or not coming up to speak, we have a card.
I've been here before, so you know who I am, Solomon Zeil. I live on Ratcliffe Place. After I finish speaking, I'm going to be giving the board a bunch of pictures I'd like you to look over. They're the basically destruction, new stuff, old stuff, but I'm going to try to accomplish 3 things tonight. First of all, when we were told what they were going to do with the sidewalks, they're telling us that the angle of the sidewalk had to be 2 degrees facing the street on an angle for water runoff. That was their main concern. We had mentioned that we can bring in our own contractor and maybe save some money to do the job. And we were told, well, if it's not exactly 2 degrees on that angle, they were going to be ripped out and replaced, and we would get the bill. Well, I'm going to give you a report right now. 50% of the sidewalks are not at 2%. Oh, they are 2% facing the house, but they're not facing the street. And that's more than 50. I got 3 minutes, so I'm going to talk.
I'm telling you how much time you have left.
Okay, I sent you pictures. I sent you some pictures. The angle is toward the house, not toward the street. Most of them are leveled, straight down the middle. Very few of them are angled toward the street. That's first of all. Second of all, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Somebody has to have an answer for this. We know that we own the streets, we own the sidewalk, and so does the city, but we have to maintain it. The grass between the sidewalk and this curb is owned by the city, and we have to maintain it. The problem I have is I can't figure out the tree. I know it's the city's tree, but we don't own it. The city owns it, 100%. The pictures I will be giving you tonight is going to show you the destruction for that tree is on the sidewalks.
1
We
minute
have
left.
to pay for it.
1 minute.
That's wrong. We don't own the tree. The city owns the tree. Yes, Mr. Rabbit?
I was just telling you you had 1 minute left,
1 minute left.
as of 15 seconds ago. It's my job.
I think the city is treating this thing pretty not fairly. We had offered to do it to save money. We were turned down, and we got the same results as when we started. The sidewalks were not in that bad shape. I've been living on that block 45 years, and this is the first time I've seen such destruction. You might have replaced sidewalks over the years, but never like this. A lot of the sidewalks, like you've heard before, they're not sitting right, including my house. We all have lips on it. Replacing it with new cement, patching it, ain't gonna work. So, I don't know what you're gonna do about it, but it's gotta be done soon. The winter's coming and it's got to be fixed. I'm gonna give you our pictures, you can keep these pictures, and I want you to look at them and know what you've done to the city of our neighborhood.
Thank you.
Okay? And we'd like to get it corrected.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, one more thing, I got 50 seconds. We found out recently that Radcliffe Place is considered considered a retention street. I'm going to give you pictures of our retention street. Look at them very carefully.
Lakefront properties. Six-inch lip is ridiculous. That's crazy.
Is there anyone with a card who hasn't spoken yet?
Miss Ackerman, would you like to come up?
Who? Oh.
Tamara Ackerman.
Saul's staring me down. Saul's staring me down.
Hello, happy birthday, Mayor.
Thank you.
It's special. I count in automotive being from Detroit, well, automotive years, it's like 20 years to generation instead of 25, so you save a few there too. I am here because I have constant theft. It's been ongoing, to be exact, since September 7th, since it's officially recorded, of 2023. It's at a point where it's really disruptive. It was 50% of my belongings gone. Now it's more like 60%. Everything, from clothing to constantly replenishing everything in the kitchen, in the bathroom, my organic things that I use. Some of those bottles are $80 a bottle. It goes on and on. Initially, I spoke with management and they suggested getting
2 minutes left.
Ring, and they suggested getting Ring, and so that's what we did. And my brother was aware of it, and there was payment or whatever involved. And then a little while later, it was before Memorial Day, there were wrappers, and it was magnetic wrappers without the spy. I showed 3 people because I didn't know what I was looking at, and these wrappers were left in the cabinet in my apartment. So it turned out that somebody had a spy camera. I didn't know where it was. I could see things moved around where I had a hand in the picture. There were things moved around. It turns out the week before last, somebody was over and we were thinking of putting a latch on the closet.
1 minute.
I have 1 minute left. Okay. And so we could lock things in there. And after that was done, everything had been unplugged, and I got a note on my phone that the motion was no longer being used. And I called the phone company, the phone place, and they said that somebody had been paying. I need somebody from here, please. I love Oak Park. I love the community. I'm close with the rabbi, his wife, Babayov, and I'd love to stay. And I need help moving to apartment in the building I was in before. I had to leave because of mold, black mold in the bedroom, and then more water damage in the kitchen. And it took them 4 months to get it ready for the new tenants. The bottom line is I need to move into an apartment that is safe in that complex. Maybe Mr. Radner, the way you spoke at the library, I was really impressed. You helped word things and typed when I was in the library board meeting, and you know, the lady there would say, yes, that's what I mean. And so maybe you could speak to someone, or Mayor McClellan, maybe you could, but I need someone to go with me to speak to the management, because when they have looked up pictures, they somehow don't find the pictures of dates and times. Okay, they don't find pictures of the dates and times I give them, and they tell people who saw to lie.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Please, I need help. I'd like to stay, and I need someone to help me so I'm not having theft, and I don't feel well also.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope I hear from you with help.
Hello. My name is Christina Ventimiglia, and I live at 14291 Nadine. I came here today to appeal my tax assessment. I have lived at this residence for 1 year. Before we, my husband and I, bought the house, we called the city to see how much our taxes were going to go up. We were told it was going to double. The previous owner was paying $2,362 for summer taxes. We got a bill for a whopping $9,507. That's close to $10,000 for a 13-square-foot home with only 2 bedrooms. I regret not getting that phone call in writing. It did not double, it did not triple, it quadrupled, plus some. I'm absolutely distraught. I took time to research my neighbors' public tax records. Recently bought homes of the same size, location, and even homes much bigger than mine that were recently bought that are all paying a large amount less than me.
2 minutes.
Again, my house is only 2 bedrooms, and we can't afford this bill. We cannot make monthly payments either. I had an injury which affects my working capability, and I'm on a fixed income. So I really need that, that tax assessment reevaluated. Now, having said this, not to mention we're paying high taxes for a community that isn't safe, as the lady before me had said. There were gunshots at the high school last October-ish. A friend's house was broken into in North Oak Park. A swastika was spray painted on his baby stroller. On Shabbat, we had to call the police because there was a car that was trying to lure in young children to get in their vehicle. And just a couple weeks ago on Radcliffe Place, there were a few incidents. There was bike theft. There was guys getting arrested for some other kind of theft right on the street, and a car window getting smashed in. This all within the past month. So tell me what these high taxes are for.
1 minute.
So just to recap, I'm paying a whopping $9,500 tax bill for a 1,300 square foot home in Oak Park. That is absolutely ludicrous. We are on a fixed income, and we really need this reevaluated. Thank you.
Please.
So, ma'am.
Yes.
So, Director Crawford, can you speak with our finance director so we can do a proper evaluation of that? And it's
Yeah.
okay if you want to exchange numbers, but let's make sure we do a proper evaluation of what's going on there.
Part of the problem is that some people who are real estate agents don't tell the new buyer. It's like, I've been in my house forever, so my taxes are low. When my house is sold, my taxes are going to triple. It seems to me that the real estate agent who's dealing with the buyer must tell her ahead of time. Excuse me. Hi, we don't have any outbursts, thank you. The person who sold her the house should have told her what the new taxes would be, and there isn't a law that makes them do that. So we are talking to the state legislature to try and get a law passed so that before she buys the house, the realtor has to give her in writing, the taxes now are this, the taxes will be that, and have both people sign it. There are too many of these cases of people buying houses, the taxes are reset, and they're horrified at how much tax they have to pay. They should know before they sign for the house. And this is the fault, in my opinion, of some unscrupulous agents who are just trying to get a commission. Thank you. Who else has something to say?
Happy birthday, Mayor. I wanted to say also in regards to the same problem. Again, I also purchased my house about a year ago, and it's basically 300% higher than what I used to be paying. And so I just wanted to get an explanation also on like what could be done. Maybe there's something on this bill that's just higher than it usually should be. It's over $10,000, and it's just.
And nobody told you before you bought the house?
No, I didn't get any, anybody who told me. But it's just also very, it's like a lot more than what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
So I just would like to have somebody to explain it to me.
We need your name when you come to the microphone. Did you
Okay.
fill out a little yellow card?
Yeah, I did already.
So we've got it?
Yeah, you should have it.
Are you Aaron?
Yeah.
Aaron, okay.
Okay, thanks.
I just want to refute that whole thing because my house was sold.
Please give your name.
My name is Herman Grunwald. I live on 25990 Ratcliffe Place. My house was sold 2 years before I bought it. 2 years before. It was sold 2 years. I bought it 2 years later. It went up from $7,700 to my bill, and you can all listen to that, $12,500 on an 1,800 square foot house. You want to tell me that in 2 years the taxes went up? Oh, anybody can do the percentage for me? What? 45%? That makes sense to anyone over here? Oh, and the house was evaluated for more than I paid for the house. I've never seen that in my life. Have you ever seen anybody buy a house for 400 and get it evaluated by the city for 450 or for 480?
Talk to the council, don't talk to the audience. Mayor.
I'm done talking. I've said my-
Madam Mayor, may I say a couple?
Yes.
Just generally speaking, I think one thing that we're going to do is a town hall coming up, and we're going to address some of these issues with property taxes, because it is extremely complicated, and for us to sit here and explain it to you tonight would be a waste of everyone's time. So we're going to do a town hall and go through a comprehensive overview of how this all works, and in every situation where there might be a discrepancy, we're going to look into each and every one of those to make sure that it's accurate. Okay?
My name is Emma Berman, and we live in Ratcliffe Place. And the question is about the fixing the grass area. Who is responsible for that, and who will be doing that, and when?
Which area?
For the grass area.
That's
The grass between the sidewalk.
between the sidewalk and the street.
A sidewalk on the street and between the sidewalk and the property.
So, just so we can't interact with you during public comment, that's why we're so hesitant to do it, just so you know. That is the homeowner's responsibility between the sidewalk and the street.
But the
To
thing is,
maintain the grass.
She means that the
actually-
contract. Let me
The
stop
grass
this for a
between the
second.
sidewalk and the street, correct?
No. When the construction company came and tore up the grass to pour the concrete.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
That they're
totally-
gonna fix.
Due to the,
Yeah.
They're gonna fix
due
I
to
thought you
the-
meant just maintaining the
Yeah.
grass. Okay, I'm sorry. So that's restorative work that the contractor will do at the end of the project. So the
On
city
every
will be.
street, or when they're done with?
When they're done with the
whole area?
project, they'll come back around and they'll do a restorative landscaping for the parts that are torn up. So that will be on, as part of our contract with that
Okay.
vendor, so.
Because as it was mentioned by another resident, trees belong to the city. And my assumption would be that it's not just the tree itself, that the area also was damaged because of those trees.
They're going to fix it.
Okay. You answered it, thank you.
Yeah. Not immediately, but when they're finished with the project. So be patient. Anybody else? That's it? Okey-doke. And, yes, one more. No, everything is major. We want to hear it.
Happy birthday. I was
Thank
calling,
you.
I got one of those grants where I was able to get my lawn service done.
Can you please say your name?
My name is Teresa Boykin.
Teresa, and do we have a little card on you?
No, I don't.
Okay. So
'Cause I
before
was-
you
I-
leave, give us your
Okay,
name and
because I
address.
was this is my first meeting.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to another neighbor who also has that work done. I guess that you have contractors that you hire to do the lawn cutting and snow removal for senior citizens. I was just appalling at the service, the type of work that they do. Again, I hadn't planned on saying anything. I just wanted to see if anybody else was having the same problem. But it's awful. They came out and cut my grass this evening, just before the meeting today, and I stood out there. I stood out there this time, and the two weeks prior to that, I stood outside. If I'm standing out there watching them to see if the work is being done, they do a decent job. But I asked them to not leave the grass. They'll cut the grass. They only come every other week. So the grass is tall. When they cut it, they leave it on the grass. I got grass, dead grass sitting on top of my grass. He said he won't blow it off. He can't do that. He said they told him that that they're not supposed to blow it off. So in the meantime, just like today, when they cut it, I have all this dead grass sitting on the grass that they cut, and the leaves are falling. So I got the leaves, I got all this stuff still sitting on my lawn. So whenever they do come out, I still have to get out there and do it myself. So I just needed to get that off my chest. So I'm not the only one who has had that complaint
1 minute.
About their service.
Right, no.
Thank you.
Yes. Can we have your, fill in a little yellow card?
This card?
Yeah, and turn it in with your name and address, phone number.
Happy birthday, Mayor. Okay, so here's my question, and it could be that I'm just real dumb and I've never done this or
Can you
been
give us
part
your
of this.
name, please?
Absolutely. Rhonda Spector. My question is this. So the sidewalks are done by a private contractor. I know you can't answer. You can nod along. So, and the resident pays for whatever sidewalk pieces need to be redone. Gotcha. If the sidewalk needs to be repaired or a driveway needs to be repaired because the contractor did a poor job for whatever reason, wouldn't that be the contractor's job to fix it at cost, not with our taxpayers and not with extra monies from the residences, but the contractor, because we didn't choose the contractor, like the city chose who's going to be the contractor. So I heard someone before, and maybe I could be totally wrong, but there was an extra amount of money for things that need to be fixed
2 minutes.
afterwards. So if that's the case, then doesn't seem like the residents' job, because they didn't even get to choose who the contractor was. And if someone's doing a job and they're being contracted to do it, they have to do it correctly. And if they don't do it correctly, they are responsible to fix it. So if that makes sense, then whatever's being paid outside of the taxes that they already pay, not part of it, to fix a sidewalk that they own, if it's incorrectly done, needs to be done by the contractor at the contractor's cost, not ours. That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else? Take your time.
My name is Garnett Parham. I live in 21701 Kipling Street, Oak Park, Michigan. My problem, one of them, and I'm not going to get involved in, what's on my chest. Nevertheless, I live in a cul-de-sac. And in that cul-de-sac, there's broken concrete in there. I called the city about it. And what had happened was they were supposed to have came and patched it. And this has been going on for a long time as far as getting them to come out. What they need to do, and this is during the time that the City of Oak Park had a financial problem, because I spoke with someone about it. They didn't have the funds for it. And I'm saying now these meetings are going on, and I'd like to talk with somebody about getting it resolved.
Do we have an address?
217.
We have your card filled out here?
No, no, sir.
So may I just, Madam Mayor, just so I want to make sure we get an answer to you. So directly behind you is Director Kim Maroney, and I'd like you to speak with her, and we can
Okay.
give you an answer. It's possible, and Kim, I don't know if you can answer this off the top of your head, but it's possible, nope, but it may be that it was part of a miscellaneous concrete project. So Kim will look into that and get an answer back to you, but prior to that, if you could fill out one of those cards for her so she can contact you.
Okay then, sir. Thank you so much. Oh, duh.
Thank you for coming in.
Hey, thank you.
Ah. Thank you.
Am I not to ask if someone is going to get back to me?
Are we done? Anybody else? Thank you all for coming. Glad you could come to my birthday party. Remember, if you haven't already, tomorrow is voting day. If you have an absentee ballot at home and you haven't turned it in, just bring it in to the clerk's office tomorrow. Or if you prefer, you can go and vote at your poll. Or I just saw somebody dropping the ballot off at the drop box right in front here. You don't even have to get out of the car. You can just drive by and pop it in, and it's checked by our staff. It's safe, locked and checked by our staff. On Wednesday, I am going to bring and brag about Oak Park, and I just can't wait. It's more fun to have a city on the rise that everybody is talking about, and getting to bring and brag. It's a joy. Councilmember Bradner.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There's just one thing that I wanted to mention to everybody, and that is the way taxes work is something that any real estate agent knows, and any real estate lawyer knows, and really anybody who knows about real estate taxes. If you show me a house and you look at what the mills are, you can know almost to the penny what the tax bill will be when you buy it. Now, that does not take into account what an existing owner is paying. For example, in 2008, when the housing market crashed, all the market values crashed. So the value that people were paying on their houses, which is based on the value of the house, that crashed as well. So if somebody paid $100,000 for a house, and now that house is worth $50,000, they're only paying taxes now on a $50,000 house. If the next year that house shoots back up to $100,000, your taxes don't double, because there's something called Headley. And the way Headley works is you're not allowed to increase the taxes by more than just a couple of percentage points. And I'll give you an example. I bought my house in 2011 for $155,000 as public record. I'm paying about $5,000 a year in taxes. If I sold that house tomorrow for $500,000, that person would be paying probably about $15,000 in taxes. That's just the way it is. That's the way it works. Sal, I know, knows this as well as anybody. But the point is, the point is, anytime you buy a house, if you see the price, the mills are public record. You can see exactly what they are. The mills are on the last tax bill, actually. And then if you look at how much was paid, and you look at the mills, you'll know almost to the penny what your taxes are going to be. That's the reality in probably 99% of times. It could be occasionally there's something fluky that happens, but generally speaking, that's how taxes work. So if your agent didn't tell you what your taxes would be, or whoever it is that you were working with didn't tell you what your taxes would be, it's really unfair. Now, I don't know what the city told you, you in particular. I can't imagine that, unless, of course, somebody from the city sat down and looked at the address and looked at the mills and looked at how much you were paying and said, this is how much your tax rate's going to be. Which I just having been a city councilman here for 2.5 terms, I can't see that having happened. It could be you called and gave them general information and they said, well, in that case, your taxes might go up this amount. But I don't think that it was an assertion of, this is how much you're paying, this is what the mills are, this is what your tax rate's going to be. It just doesn't seem like that's what would have happened. And I feel for you, I really do. I really do. But these are the tax rates. You know, there's going to be a renewal soon for a millage, and at that point, it'll be up to the voters. The voters keep approving more taxes. So, I mean, that's just what's been happening. So that's the reality of the tax situation. We're not allowed to have it back and forth now. I'll talk to you guys afterwards. I know you all know me. I know most of you. We can definitely talk afterwards. But that's the reality of the tax situation.
Thank you,
can't-
thank
you're not
you.
allowed to. They'll throw you out.
We can't.
They'll throw you out. We've got these
I'll
guys
talk
ready
to you
go.
after the meeting. If you stay, I'll talk to you after the meeting. Councilmember Julie Edgar.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I feel your pain. I'm in the north part of the city, and yes, I know. Our taxable values have gone up. That's a good thing, right? But it's not a good thing for people like you, new home buyers. We who've been in the city for a long time, I've been in the city for 25 years, my taxes are much lower because of Headley, which Councilman Radner just explained, but please come to the town hall, because if you really want to learn about how it works. But anyway, you'll talk to Sandra, you'll see what we can come up with. In any case, I am committed as a council person to keep Oak Park affordable. We want this to be a family city. We want people to be able to live here. And we recognize, just across the way in Huntington Woods, they pay twice. A friend of mine pays $20,000 in taxes. It's right, but so it's good and it's bad. You want to prosper, but you don't want people to suffer, and that's what's happening here. In terms of the sidewalks, I just had my entire driveway redone, and when I hear they may redo the driveways, I'm thinking, what? Like, what? Yeah, it's problematic. My approach, or apron, isn't quite, it sort of meshes, but there is an inch or two, and that's a little bothersome. And then I'm sad about my tree, because I can't imagine my locust tree is going to survive, because they pulled up all the roots. We'll see what happens. Anyway, on a good note, we had our dog park event on July 21st, Dog Day afternoon. It was a huge success. Our vendors were really happy. We had a lot of happy dog owners and a lot of very cute dogs. So thank you, everybody, for coming out. And please, if you have a dog, register for the dog park, because it's a really wonderful place to socialize your animal. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Nice. Councilmember Whitehead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just want to tell a quick story about Mayor, now that it's her birthday this weekend. Before I got on the political scene like 4.5 years ago, I asked her, I said, could you come and talk to some students that I'm teaching at our legislative boot camps? And she said without hesitation, and she spent her time with the students, teaching them. And then by the end of it, I thought she was teaching me too. And she's always been like that, and she's always been a great mentor. I just want to thank Mayor for all of her service and dedication to this city. We had a really, really good strategic quarterly report. I was glad we had more people in the crowd tonight to hear it. Please keep coming back every other Monday. We welcome you, and thanks for bringing your complaints to us. We need to hear them, so that way we can try to find issues and solutions for you. So thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. There being no business to come before this council, this meeting is adjourned. Stay after if you have something to say to me. Thank you for lending her the pen. That was very sweet.